Hello and welcome back to Crypto Saving Expert, where we talk about the latest cryptocurrency news and take a look at the markets so that we all know exactly what is happening. Space Invader said in the chat today, Jordan got you working overtime. Yes, indeed. As you can tell, I am not in my studio. I am in TMG studio, which means we're working all day, but we still need to get these live streams done. So it's a bit of a late one today. Rob has asked how come the times of the show are all random. They will be back to a consistent time when I am back in my own office next week, but we are in TMG's office this week, and we are actually going to Zebu live tomorrow and on Friday as well in London if anybody is around the area. Then make sure to get some tickets. I think we have a 30% discount code, which is CSE in big capital letters. So if you are looking to get a last minute ticket, make sure to use that code to get some discount and come and check it out. We are going to be there tomorrow and Friday, so the streams will probably be really early for the next 2 days. I'll probably be back on a stream in about 12 hours time, so make sure to stay tuned, like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you don't miss these random times there. And if you don't get notifications on YouTube, make sure to follow us on Twitter as well, because a tweet does go out there every single live stream. But let's check out what's going on with the price of Bitcoin today anyway. So again, thank you very much for joining today's stream. Bitcoin is up in the last 24 hours by 0.46%. Not bad. We did see a strong rejection of those higher levels. We did predict that we probably wouldn't be able to sustain those levels, and that is exactly what has happened. We'll be talking today about what's happening with this bull market. We've got some pretty bullish signals coming in, but we are seeing rejections for the price of Bitcoin. Now, what does this mean for the future? I want to be doing I want to do a lot of analysis today. Basically, I've got a lot of time on my hands this evening. We've finished the working day. I don't have any more meetings to worry about, so we can have a pretty long stream today and talk about what's going on with the price, take our time with the cryptocurrency news and see what's going on. If you have any questions, make sure to drop them in today's live chat, and we can just sit and have a chat for as however long this takes. Let's see what's going on with the Fear and Greed Index first of all. So we have the Fear and Greed Index at exactly neutral. We're at 49. We were at 50 yesterday. We haven't really seen some changes here, and this is due to that sideways action. We're not really seeing any reason to see any fear or greed in the markets at the moment, but we'll be keeping a close eye on this. This is a pretty useful indicator, one that a lot of people overlook, but it's definitely worthwhile just keeping an eye on this because it gives a good indication. And obviously, when everybody else is feeling fearful, we want to be feeling greedy, and when everyone else is feeling greedy, we want to be feeling fearful. Monkey Nuts has said in the chat today, wow, I thought we'd missed you today. No, the live streams are just at strange times this week, as you can tell, in TMG's office. So we've been working hard all day, and we've only just got around to the live stream. But let's see what's going on in the cryptocurrency news today. Today is the second day of FTX's trial, so we will be talking about that. But first of all, let's talk about what's happening. Now, Bitcoin did see a strong rejection from that $28,600 level 2 days ago, unfortunately. We did not manage to close a daily candle above this level of resistance that we were looking to hopefully break. We're looking at that $28,500 level. It did act as a level of resistance back here and has done multiple times in the past. So we wanted to see a daily candle close above that point. Unfortunately, we did not get that. We also have a level of resistance that we could take from the bodies of these candles, $28,100, but unfortunately we did not see a daily candle close up in that region. Instead, we did see a rejection, a retest of these levels of resistance back down here. So let's discuss that quickly. When the price of Bitcoin did move up, we looked at that on this channel and we said it's moved up very strongly. We're not seeing some consistent sideways action. We're seeing the volatility continue, so we are probably going to see a retracement. Now, unfortunately, that is what we have seen. But yesterday on the live stream, we were discussing some levels of support and previous resistance that could be acting as a level of support on those smaller time frames. Now, obviously, these levels are a little bit weaker because they are on the smaller time frames, but you can see that $27,200 level that we have been using as a level of resistance has been flipped, and we are starting to use that as a level of support. And if you are a 1 hour trader, maybe this shape is interesting to you. Maybe we have an inverse head and shoulders here, and maybe it is time to retest those higher levels at $28,100 and $28,500. One thing I would like to say about what's going on with the price of Bitcoin right now is we've got November, December, January, February, March, April, 6 months until the Bitcoin halving. The Bitcoin halving is predicted to be in April 2024. Now, we all know that historically the Bitcoin halving has caused a move to the upside for Bitcoin. Now, I'm looking at this and I think that $32,000 level for Bitcoin is a really strong level of resistance, and that is going to take some time to be broken through, and it's going to take a few attempts to get through that level. Now, I am looking at this and I'm saying we are probably going to see a lot of sideways action within the next couple of months, but I'm also saying that we have a time period now, and this is probably the right time period and the perfect time period to be retesting that $32,000 level. It would line up to see a retest of that point. So we will be going into a little bit more detail about that towards the end of today's stream. First, I want to go through the cryptocurrency news and see what's going on there. But please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button. Monkey Nuts has said XTP is off to America with the nice big rocket emoji there. I know a lot of viewers on the channel are big fans of XTP, and they've been making some big changes recently. So we're all very happy there, and we've seen what else is going on in the chat? Anders said, good evening. Good evening. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, let's take a look at what's going on with the cryptocurrency news here today. So first of all, we have Bear Steepener's hint at coming bull markets, according to Arthur Hayes. So what we are seeing here is Arthur Hayes believes a significant Bitcoin bull market may be around the corner, fueled by US money printing. Now, this is a really interesting article. We are going to go through this very slowly because there's a lot to take in here, but it's definitely worthwhile and something we should be educating ourselves about. So, Arthur Hayes believes the US government could spark the next crypto and Bitcoin bull market. Now, he is the CEO of BitMEX, seen to be a Bitcoin bull, a very famous Bitcoin bull, been around for years. Now, he's highlighting the rapidly increasing US Treasury yields as a precursor to a new bull market for the Bitcoin and cryptocurrency market. So he's looking externally to the cryptocurrency space and looking at what signals that we have in the traditional markets that could be ticking off a Bitcoin bull market. Now, we can see US debt is accelerating, and we are seeing what he's calling the bear steepener, a phenomenon where long-term interest rates rise faster than their short-term equivalents. He believes this scenario is not factored into bank models, and as the 230s curve, the difference between 30-year and 2 yields, steepens alongside rising long and short-term rates, economic pressures will rank up. Now, due to the leverage and non-linear risks to banks' portfolios, they may have to start selling bonds to pay fixed on IRS as rates increase. This selling pressure prompts a cascade, driving bond prices down, leading to the requirement for mass liquidity injections to counteract the tightening measures that have been in place since late 2021. Now, he's acknowledged that there may be some casualties along the way, but he concluded that the likely outcome is a return to the cryptocurrency bull market. So what we're seeing here is mass liquidity injections has previously caused massive increases for the price of Bitcoin. He is predicting that we could be heading into a scenario where we are going to see liquidity injections once again, and with that, we could be seeing something similar to 2021. Now, wouldn't that be great? We had what we can't say on the channel. I learned yesterday not to be saying what happened in the year of 2019, 2020, and 2021 because it might censor the channel, but we all know what happened throughout those years. And what happened then caused the price of Bitcoin to increase massively. Now, if we see money printing once again, there is a correlation there with the price of Bitcoin. So maybe we could be seeing the price increase within the next couple of months. Let's see what's going on here. Rob says, not that we don't appreciate your hard work, Jess, just was wondering if changing time when vids drop. No, apologies for the strange timings. We will be getting back to the normal times. I think we all prefer when we've got a set time every single day. It makes it difficult for myself when I don't do the set times because now we're doing the live stream at 7 p.m. and I'll probably need to do the next live stream before the event tomorrow at 7 a.m. and I doubt there's going to be any news within the next 12 hours. So I'm going to have to make some content within the next 12 hours to talk about instead. So it does make my life harder. I'm trying to be more consistent with the timings and I think we all prefer it that way, but we'll improve on that. That's something to improve on here. Let's see what else is going on with the crypto news though. Please Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss what's going on. Monkey Nut says go 1.5x speed, Jess. I am trying to speak slower because I speak so quickly all of the time, and I understand that sometimes it's not the easiest to understand, especially with my accent. But let's see what's going on here. Declining Bitcoin exchange balances show strong holding sentiment. So another bullish article here. We're seeing reduced Bitcoin on exchanges mirrors growing long-term holding confidence. So Bitcoin's recent climb beyond $27,000 has triggered a market reaction that points to an intriguing trend among investors. As trading interests wanes, the total Bitcoin held on exchange addresses is showing a significant decrease. So what we're seeing here is investors are moving their cryptocurrency and Bitcoin from the centralized exchanges, looking to store that in cold storage for the long term. Definitely something we like to be seeing. We are big advocates here for storing your cryptocurrency as safe as possible. And when we're moving to cold storage, it is a signal that we're probably not going to be touching it for a long period of time, and that we actually have diamond hands, which is what we like to see. Let's see what else is going on here. Onto the Crypto Saving Expert website, let's talk about what is going on with the Ripple case. Now, we all know by now, Ripple have been in a lawsuit with the SEC since December 2020. Now, they had a massive win in court just a couple of months ago. We did hear the courts decide that XRP is not a security in 3 of the 4 instances that they were discussing in court. Now, this was not the end of the lawsuit. This was a court case in the midst of that big lawsuit there. So we did see that when a lawsuit has come to the end, both parties have the ability to appeal the decision, the final decision for a lawsuit. But if the court is in the middle of the lawsuit and it's just another hearing, then they don't actually always have the rights to appeal decisions. Now, we have seen that the judge has denied the SEC's appeal in the Ripple lawsuit. So we're seeing here, let's take a look at what's going on here. District Court judge has declined the US SEC's request to appeal against its loss in the lawsuit against Ripple Labs, the entity behind the XRP token. Let's take a look at what's going on in the price of XRP off the back of this news, because we have seen in the news today it's been pretty positive, up almost 5%. If we take a look at the daily chart here, yesterday was super bullish, and today there's been a whole lot of volatility, but definitely some bullish momentum there. The bulls have been fighting back this afternoon, and those bears that were trying to push it down have not been successful so far. I feel really, really positive about what's happening here. So I don't feel positive. I feel upset about what's happening here. Now, XRP is a token that I didn't really invest in the previous bull market. And then I invested in this after the lawsuit began, a lot after the lawsuit began, actually. I invested in this at around, let's get this right, I started in Crypto Saving Expert in January 2022. This was about a year before. I invested in XRP at around this period here, I would say it was. This period here, and I invested into it. And I held on, and I held on, and I held on, and it didn't really move. In fact, actually, I can't pick out where it was. It was some point in the last bull market. I invested in XRP. It did not move. It did not move. It did not move. And then one day I decided I need to sell this XRP. I've got that liquidity, and I could be using it better elsewhere. So I sold. The next day, it did a 3x. And I was not happy about it. So then I was a bit bitter about XRP. I saw lots of people accumulating during this period of time. There's a lot of people that are huge fans of XRP. If you've got anything bad to say about XRP, you cannot say that community is not strong. It's one of the strongest communities in cryptocurrency. We have seen it maintain its top 10 market cap spot, top 10 cryptocurrency in terms of market cap since throughout this entire lawsuit. Now, with a lawsuit like this, it could have been a project that just got brushed under the carpet and wiped out of the top rankings, but it didn't. That community held XRP strong. And through that period of time, there were so many gains to be made in the cryptocurrency space, and this is why it's so sad to see. I think loads of people have been accumulating XRP throughout this lawsuit in hopes for a big win, and yes, we did get a nice uptick of that court win a couple of months ago, but I really believe that these accumulators deserve more. That community is so strong, and they really deserved a nice big pump to the upside, but unfortunately, we saw a whole retracement on that. Hopefully, those accumulators do benefit from that in the long term. I personally wasn't investing in it throughout that period of time because I wanted to use that liquidity that I had elsewhere. I wanted to use those funds in other opportunities that were cropping up at the time. But I do understand why people are big fans of XRP. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Anders said speed and accent are fine. Keep them the way they are. Monkeynut said, I hadn't noticed you had an accent. Very unusual. Usually my accent is the first thing people point out, and my height. I'm a very tall person and people don't usually think that. Anyway, let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news. What do we have here? Binance CZ faced class action lawsuits for allegedly harming FTX before its collapse. So the lawsuit claims Binance and CZ attempted to manipulate the crypto markets when the crypto exchange decided to liquidate its FTT holdings worth around $530 million. Now, I'm sure a lot of you were in the cryptocurrency markets in November last year, but I'll refresh you on what actually happened in the lead up to FTX's collapse. Before I do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. We do these live streams every single weekday, so make sure to tune in. We talk about what's going on in the markets. We've done these live streams every single weekday for almost a year. We are approaching that year mark. We started them in December last year, so we are getting closer and closer to that, and we have not missed a single day through this bear market, trying to keep the markets entertaining when all they're doing is going sideways. What we are seeing here anyway, back to this article, is Binance essentially decided they were going to liquidate their FTT token. Now, FTT is FTX's token. If you held FTT, you got to pay lower transaction fees on the exchange. Now, Binance actually said, we're publicly going to sell all of our FTT tokens. So let's see what was tweeted here. On Sunday, November the 6th, CZ tweeted, due to recent revelations that have come to light, we have decided to liquidate any remaining FTT on our books. And on the Saturday, he tweeted, the day before, he had already sold and moved 23 million FTT worth $530 million. Now, the lawsuit is claiming that he has actually harmed FTX before its collapse and attempted to manipulate the cryptocurrency markets. Now, you can see how this looks. A leading centralized exchange managing to cause a bank run on another centralized exchange. It doesn't look great, but I also believe CZ and any other leaders in the space have every right to decide they no longer want to hold a token. So the plaintiff added that CZ's tweets caused the price of FTT to drop by 14% within a day, and the Binance CEO later tweeted that the platform was not against anyone, further stating that it will not support people who lobby against other industry players behind their backs. So it looks like, obviously, things haven't been going on well behind closed doors. This was all in the run-up to FTX's collapse before we knew the extent to all of the problems that were occurring within FTX. And I believe that, yes, maybe this seems like an attack on FTX, but CZ and Binance have absolutely every right to decide they no longer want to hold FTT token. What we are seeing here is CZ and Binance had promised to acquire FTX. Now, this was a loose promise. This was a very loose promise. When Binance took, what happened was, FTX decided that they needed help. Binance sold their FTT tokens. Then SBF approached CZ and said, look, we need some help. Please buy us. And CZ said potentially. So there was about 12 to 24-hour period where we didn't know whether CZ or Binance were going to sell FTX or not. And then CZ and Binance decided to drop out of that deal. So that caused an even bigger problem. And obviously the problems dominoed, and we are where we are today. FTX is not a live centralized exchange, and what we are seeing is SBF in trial this week to do with the inner workings of FTX and what was actually happening there. We are talking about that right now in this next article. Before we do, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. Space Invader said, what's CSE doing to celebrate the year? I don't know yet. I don't know if anybody's actually paying attention. We haven't discussed what we're going to be doing on that year Obviously, the team we've all had mini goals for ourselves. There's a huge team at Crypto Saving Expert now, all working incredibly hard, and this was just one of my goals, to be doing these live streams every day. But I'll be telling them to celebrate with me. It is a big achievement there, and we've been keeping the cryptocurrency markets going through this bear market. We've seen there's so many cryptocurrency YouTube channels that have just dropped off the face of the earth within the last couple of months because there's not really much to be talking about during these periods of time. There is quite a lot today. But there isn't every single day, and sometimes the sideways action is an absolute killer. But we wanted to talk about it and keep it up so that we can build a big community ready for the next bull market. Anders says, light up some BTC wax. If you have not already, that is a good point. Let's talk about the merch store quickly here. So, Crypto Saving Expert has launched cryptosavingexpert.store. So what we are seeing here is we are offering cryptocurrency merch. We're talking Bitcoin neon signs. They are actually very, very good quality. We also have some Bitcoin socks. Make sure to check those out. And then we have crypto thermal mugs. We have the works. I use my crypto thermal mug every single day. It's very, very useful. We've got loads. And one of the best things, one of the most exciting things in here, I think, is if you go to the Essentials tab, I think, and if we scroll to the bottom, we've got some mystery boxes here. We've got £50, £100, £250, £1,000, and it goes all the way up to £1 million. Now, it would be mental if somebody bought £1 million mystery box, but it's something that I just think is possible. In the bull market, things get pretty crazy, and if someone buys that £1 million mystery box, it would be fun. It would be very fun. We've got some ideas of what would go in it, but we'll have to stay tuned to see if anyone actually purchases one there. Space Invader says Jordan should put a Christmas event on for us all. For the live streams being a year, maybe we'll do a special live stream on the day so everybody can tune in and we can celebrate. We'll see. Any other ideas, throw them my way. I'm interested to see that. Anders says light up some Bitcoin wax. That's why we were on the merch store, because we are offering wax burners. Now, we are one of the first within the cryptocurrency market to launch these. In fact, we haven't actually seen any competition selling these. We're selling wax burners with Bitcoin shaped wax. Now, these are the wax melts there, and they last so long. They smell so good. I personally recommend the smell Chad. So that smells like the aftershave Creed. I've got the air freshener for my car, the exact same smell. Smells really, really nice. Get a lot of compliments on that. We also have GM Crypto, which is a cappuccino flavor. I drink enough coffee. I smell enough coffee every day. So it's not a personal favorite, but it's still a good choice. And then we have New Lambo, which is black cherry. Very nice as well. But that Chad flavor is my favorite. But make sure to check that out. You can choose which one you want on checkout if you want that, or the air freshener, or the candles. They all come in the same scents, so you can have everywhere smelling the same. Let's see what's going on. Monkey Nut says, if Jordan did do a Christmas party, I'd come over from Ireland, no problem, wearing my Santa suit. That would be great. We will be launching some Crypto Saving Expert events in the near future. If anybody is at Zebu Live tomorrow and Friday, make sure to come over and catch up, say hello. We may be able, I don't know what's happening after Zebu Live, if we're going to be going to a nearby pub or something. Make sure to come over and say hello and see what's going on, and we can all meet up there. But if you are not going to Zebu Live, there will be more meetups in the future. Also, if you are not already, make sure to go to cryptosavingexpert.com. If you are a Community Plus member or a premium member, we are going to be doing some Discord town halls very, very soon, which is essentially just like a Zoom call with TMG, with some of the team at Crypto Saving Expert, talking about just answering any of your questions and just having a general discussion. We're really trying to build a big community within that Crypto Saving Expert Discord channel, so make sure to check that out if you haven't already. We do have a 7-day free trial on the website, so you can check it out for yourself and make sure it's something you want. And then you can go ahead with the membership if it is something you've been interested in. So you get access to the Discord channel, unlimited courses, and so much more with that community membership there. So make sure to check that out. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news today, and then we'll take a look at the price of the price of Bitcoin and see what is going on. So let's see what's in store. Back to the news. Where are we? Here we go. 3 reasons why SBF will likely be convicted, according to ex-SEC lawyer. Now, there's a lot of controversy about this. SBF obviously did a lot of things wrong, allegedly, in FTX over the years, and we are now seeing how likely it could be that he will be convicted. He is in court right now. It's probably going to be 6 weeks until we get the conclusion from this court. It's going to be a very, very long trial there. So we are seeing that Stark said the first reason is the presence of senior corporate insiders who have pleaded guilty and are cooperating with the Department of Justice. So, is SBF going to be convicted? Well, if some of his players and his partners within that company have already pleaded guilty and are cooperating with the Department of Justice, it's not going to be easy for him to wangle his way out of this one. So we're seeing witnesses like co-founder Gary Wang, engineer director. We're seeing the CEO of Alameda Research and his ex-girlfriend Caroline Ellison, all amongst those that have pleaded guilty and offering to cooperate with the Department of Justice. Now, what we're seeing here is the case's stockpile of cooperating witnesses was unprecedented for a financial fraud trial, and each witness would tell FTX's behind-the-scenes story in a well-rehearsed manner to provide a narrative of the global criminal enterprise. This is going to be a really interesting trial, and we're staying up to date with it on the Crypto Saving Expert News, so make sure to check out the news there as well. The second reason as to why he could be convicted is because the Department of Justice's unlimited access to everything, including incriminating evidence. So Stark has mentioned the testimony of FTX's interim CEO, John, which described the FTX case as a complete failure of corporate controls. And Ray said he had never seen such a complete absence of trustworthy financial information in his 40 years of restructuring experience. So what we are saying here is Stark said Ray reported most of his findings to law enforcement agencies after spending around $200 million to get to the bottom of SBF's wrongdoings. So there's a lot of people trying to push him into the fire right now. Obviously, he's caused a lot of pain for the cryptocurrency space, and there's a lot of reasons here, and there's a lot of evidence here to back up the things that SBF was doing wrong behind closed doors. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. Keeping up to date with that, as I said, probably going to be a 6-week trial, so we'll be learning a lot about what's been going on in FTX within the next couple of weeks, so make sure to stay tuned. What else have we got here? Monkey Nut says, yes, for a very long time, someone has to do time for it. Yeah, I mean, we want to see the repercussions. This man caused a lot of pain in the cryptocurrency space. A huge amount of money was lost. People had their life savings in FTX, and they've lost access to that for over a year. We did see that they were meant to see a repayment date by the 31st of October, and that got pushed back to the 31st of October next year. Now, we've seen this before. We've seen this with Mt. Gox. People that had their money in Mt. Gox, a centralized exchange that went offline in 2014, have not yet received their funds yet. Now, I don't believe that the FTX repayment will take that long, but we could see a long road ahead. It's already been pushed back another year. That's 2 years without their funds. Now, we are seeing it is looking more and more likely that the FTX users will get their funds back and they will get access to their funds, but it's just how long that is going to take. A very interesting point, which is something I did discuss slightly in yesterday's stream, is that people are actually looking to buy other people's accounts on FTX. Now, this seems like a pretty solid investment to me at this point in time. What we're seeing is somebody may have $100,000 in their FTX exchange, and they may say, I want to sell this account. I don't know if I'm going to get access to that money anymore. I don't know how long it's going to take. I'm happy to give you this account for $30,000. So you could buy that off them for $30,000 and play the long game. If FTX decide to manage to refund everybody that had their funds in their accounts, then the investor would have made a $70,000 profit. Now, obviously, there may be some fees. They may not get reimbursed 100% of their assets, and there are other risks involved. But it's looking like a pretty interesting investment, and we're seeing the demand for that increase as the probability of FTX giving their users their funds back is increasing as well. It's a really interesting investment choice there. I'm definitely looking to go outside of the cryptocurrency space a little bit more. Obviously, I'm well versed in what's going on in cryptocurrency, so I like to stay somewhat cryptocurrency related with my investments, but it's pretty interesting to look at other options rather than looking at altcoins 24/7. It's interesting to look at these opportunities. I know Jordan was looking at this opportunity immediately when FTX first went offline. Maybe I'm a little bit slow to the game, but it's an interesting opportunity. And we are still seeing people sell their FTX accounts, especially with the extension of that deadline for another year. Some people need their assets, that liquidity sooner rather than later. So would rather sell that account for a loss and get access to it sooner. Let's see what else is going on here. Monkey Nut says, I have a feeling he's a puppet and will go down as a fall guy. Maybe, I mean, there's a lot of discussion about what's really been happening here. Has SBF been making all of these decisions, or has higher powers been making all of these decisions? At the end of the day, he's made them. He tried to give a lot of money to a lot of very important people. Maybe that will help him in the long run, but we'll be staying tuned on that. It looks like we have cut out for just a second. Let's see if we can connect back again. Maybe some connection issues for just a second, but make sure to stay tuned. We will be back. As we all know, TFG has a little bit of difficulty with his internet connection. We should be back now. If we are, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button. Viewers of the That Martini Guy channel will know the difficulties he has with live streaming on his internet. But we should be back now. We should be in working order. Let's see what else is going on here in the cryptocurrency news. We are seeing FTX creditors likely to recover 100% of assets amid Anthropic's new raise plans. This is literally what we were just talking about. So they didn't like us saying that the stream went funny. Exactly. And what we are seeing here is Anthropic is aiming at a $30 billion valuation, which could increase the value of FTX's stake up to $4 billion. Now, we have seen FTX recoup a lot of the funds that SBF donated over the years. We've seen colleges, government officials looking to refund FTX for the donations that SBF made, and FTX have managed to recoup a huge amount of money at this point in time. I mean, we're looking at billions of dollars. Now, obviously, we want to be able to cover everybody's investments into the exchange and more. FTX's new CEO has discussed potentially launching FTX as a centralized exchange once again. So we are seeing some interest in that. We are seeing more and more money flooding back into FTX, and this is coming. This is making it more and more likely that those users, thankfully, could be getting their hands on 100% of the assets they had deposited in FTX at the time that it did fall. And maybe in the long term, it's not as bad as it seems. It's caused people to diamond hand, whether they like to or not. And Bitcoin is higher now than it was when FTX collapsed. If we take a look at when FTX collapsed, it was at this point here, this big red drop down here. Bitcoin was at $21,000 at that point in time. If we can hold that and we can pump nicely before people get their funds back, people might be pretty happy with the changes that have happened in the market since then. Let's see what else is going on here. Let's move on to the next article. So what we have here is the Department of Justice says absence of US crypto laws not relevant to SBF's allegations. So we're seeing SBF try and get out of these allegations in as many different ways as possible. He was going to try, it was rumored that he was going to try and blame the lawyers. It is now rumored that he could try and blame the US crypto laws. But the Department of Justice is saying, look, this just is a poor attempt here at trying to get out of these allegations. You can't be doing that. You've done what you've done, and we are going to go to court and try and understand this in the best ways possible. So we are saying here, we do have problems with the laws in the US, but it doesn't really mean that you act how Sam Bankman-Fried has acted. I wouldn't say that's the right way to go about things. Let's move on from that story though, because we have talked about that a lot. We are looking at Yield Protocol, which is a DeFi lending project. They are looking to wind down by the end of the year. So they've announced they will be winding down operations by the end of the year. The DeFi lending project is preparing to conclude its operations. So the project revealed this in in December 2023. Series will mature on December 29th, bringing all borrowing and lending activities on the platform to a close. So very sad to see there. At its peak in April 2022, it boasted a total value locked of over $22 million. However, this figure has decreased substantially as it now hovers around $2 million. Big fall there, unfortunately. And it is hard for projects to continue through the bear market. It's not an easy time. We are all seeing that there's a lot of anticipation that we will see things get back on track fairly soon within the next 6 months. But it's a pretty hard time to keep things ticking over. Let's see what else is going on in the cryptocurrency news today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell notification button so you don't miss the latest crypto news. We're 35 minutes into today's stream. We've got one article left, and then we'll go back to the price of Bitcoin, analyze what's going on there. So BUSD borrowing and lending to terminate on 25th of October. So Binance had announced the end of BUSD borrowing and lending effective from the 25th of October. This is a stablecoin that was issued by Paxos, and due to regulatory concerns, minting of this token is due to stop, and we are seeing some the decline of this project. Basically, it's no more, winding down operations as well as yield finance there. Let's see. Hopefully the Wi-Fi is still working. We're looking like we have some more issues on my end, but let me know if everything is all good in the chat. Let's see what's going on with the price of Bitcoin. Hopefully everything is running smoothly. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification button so you don't miss the latest cryptocurrency news. What we have here is Bitcoin is at $27,550. If we go into the 5-minute chart, let's see what's going on there. Probably some sideways action. Yeah, pretty much sideways action, not much movement. What we were pointing out at the start of today's stream is potentially we have an inverse head and shoulders on the 1-hour chart, and not a chart pattern we were expecting to see at this point in time. So what we have here is, if we get rid of this pen, let's get rid of that. And I've just messed it up again. Let's go back to the 1-hour chart and try again. What we have here is we have a shoulder, we have the head, and we have the shoulder. Now, if we take the neckline right across here, you can see we haven't yet broken up through that neckline, but it is a target that we could be trying to attack if we manage to hold a daily a 1-hour candle above this. So we see a 1-hour candle close above the $27,700 level. That's a confirmed inverse head and shoulders to me, and we could be going up to retest that $28,120 level. Now, if we see a daily candle close above these two yellow levels, so that $28,120 level and that $28,500, make sure to keep an eye on those. If we see a daily candle close above them, then we could be in for some interesting price movements here. I want to zoom out and talk a little bit more about the bigger time frames because we've not done this in a while. Let's in fact pull up the Bitcoin halving indicators because these are pretty useful. So these are the Bitcoin halving events. If we put this on and we go to BTC USD on the Bitstamp chart, I'm asking a lot of the internet right now. We're streaming and changing charts all at once, and we all know this internet isn't a big fan of streaming. Monkey Nut says stream is okay, Jess. You just need everyone to hit the like button. Yes, we do. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, check out the merch store, sign up for Community Plus, make sure to follow us on TikTok. Everything you can to help us support the company. We are trying to grow and educate people about the cryptocurrency space. Let's see what's going on here. On the bigger time frame, the Bitcoin halvings indicator doesn't like us today. Maybe it's going to take a little bit of time to load there. Let's see what's going on here. So let's zoom out to the weekly chart. What we go here, the video is low resolution. Hopefully it's all excellent now. It's saying excellent connection on my end, so hopefully it's all good. What we are seeing here is, first of all, let's pull up and look at the previous halvings. What we have here is for the second halving, we had an all-time high at $1,150. Now, for the third halving, we had an all-time high at $20,000. Now, for the prior to that Bitcoin halving, it was a little bit volatile. Alec watching teletext. Hopefully this is going to improve and the connection is a little bit better. What we are seeing here is the Bitcoin halving does typically trigger a bull market. I don't need to be telling you that. You do know that, and we are expecting one in April 2024. So what can we expect until April 2024? Well, what we have seen so far is a big dump to the downside and a nice bit of retracement. Now you can see here that typically, as Jordan said in yesterday's stream, we do see some sort of retracement following that Bitcoin halving. So I'm expecting to see some sort of retracement at that Bitcoin halving, and this is because the miners turn off, because it's less profitable to mine, the hash rate goes down, such and such, and then the price of Bitcoin does slightly move to the downside. But overall, this is the last move typically to the downside before that big swoosh to the upside. So it is still a very exciting time. What we are seeing here is we have 6 months to go. Now, and if the previous halving is anything to go by, we could be expecting to see one last dump before we get into that halving, before we start to move to the upside. Now, I would like to discuss again the importance of this $32,000 level. Now, if anybody remembers this point in time, this was a very significant day. The day we actually broke through that $20,000 level, it's a day that Bitcoin acted in a way that I have never seen it act before. It was insane. The price was moving incredibly fast. It did something very similar when we broke this level here at this point here, but it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same price movement. This price movement here on the 1 minute chart was absolutely crazy. So what we have here is we could be seeing something similar at $32,000. $32,000 is a very strong level of resistance, and it's going to be really hard to break through. Again, obviously, at that $70,000 level, we could see something similar to this, but in the closer time frames, that $32,000 level is going to be hard, and I think it's going to take a few attempts to break through it. Now, we have a 6-month period where, yes, I think we've got some more sideways action in store, and maybe we do come down and retest that $25,000 level, and these levels here, that $24,700 level, these levels here, these all look like levels that could be retested, but we could be seeing what I'm imagining we're going to see is some sideways action. Maybe we are due a move to that $32,000 level at some point in time. Maybe we'll retest this a couple of times. Then maybe we'll have a fall before we start to approach that Bitcoin halving. Then maybe we break through it, Bitcoin halving comes, and then we start to really push. If I was going to draw any prediction, that is the exact one. Somebody screenshot that and show me that in August 2024, because that is something that I would stand by at this point in time. It's looking like that $32,000 level could have a strong rejection for us again at some point in time. But as we get closer to the Bitcoin halvings, we are looking closer and closer to what could be a nice move to the upside. So we need to keep looking at this and see what's in store. I'm buying in anytime we see a red day. I'm taking the opportunity because we don't know how many more we're going to get. As I keep saying, Bitcoin takes the path of most pain. And when we're looking at this, you can see that the path of most pain right now is so unclear. Some people are so bearish and some people are so bullish. And it's really uncertain. The biggest killer we're seeing right now is the sideways action. Sideways action is just causing people to leave the space, pay no interest, and with that, that is the biggest killer. But if we see a slight move to the inside, it might be able to pique some interest again. Retesting that $32,000 would definitely pique some interest again. And then if we saw one last shakeout, it would make sense to me. That's what we're looking at here. So let's see what's going on in the chat. Alex is Monkey Nuts is saying Alex is showing his age by knowing about teletext. Damn, it did the same thing saying that. Let's take a look and what's going on with Ethereum quickly. Let's take a look at that, and then we will close off today's stream. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. We're on 9 likes. We could do better than 9 likes. Let's see what's going on here. So this is a clear chart for us here. Let's go to the 4-hour chart would be even better here. You can see it's acted pretty similar to Bitcoin. That sideways action looks absolutely diabolical. Let's see what's going on the daily chart. When the sideways action like this, the daily chart is your best bet for accurate analysis. So we can see here, Robert says, have a good evening to everybody. Yeah, indeed. Make sure everybody has a lovely evening. Anybody that's coming to ZB Live in the chat, let me know. I'm really looking forward to it tomorrow. Last year it was a good event, so it should be a good one this year as well. Let's see what's going on here. We have seen a rejection. Does Ethereum have an inverse head and shoulders like Bitcoin does? Let's take a look at this. It's got a strong level of resistance here that it could be reattacking. So let's take a look at this. Let's zoom in gets closer here, you can see on the 1 hour chart, we have a level of resistance straight down here, as clear as day. So potentially we could be reattacking that. We have used it as the previous level of support as well on that smaller time frame. It would be nice to see an hourly candle close above this level. It's currently at 1,650. Definitely an interesting one there. Didn't expect to see such a strong level of resistance right now. We'll be keeping a close eye on that. Maybe we will see a nice breakout. What we would be looking at there is we do have to be aware there are some levels of resistance at these set points that have acted as a resistance on those lines before. But interesting opportunities right now. Even though there's been some sideways action, the recent volatility has not yet come to an end, and we could be seeing some changes within the next couple of days. I do believe that it is time now to see a little bit of volatility. We've been sideways for so long, and yes, we did just see that volatility to the upside and then that sharp drop to the downside, but I do think that that's not the end of it. I do think there is something more coming. I do in the bigger time frames, when we zoom out, I always say yes, sideways action is very, very likely, but we've had that for a while now. The volatility is back and we could be seeing some strong movements, so make sure to stay tuned. That is all we have for today's stream. Thank you very much for watching. As always, it's been a long one today. How long's it been today? We've been live for 46 minutes. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. You can tell I'm losing my voice. I need to go and have my dinner. We'll be back on live probably at around 8 a.m. tomorrow, 7 a.m. tomorrow. So make sure to stay tuned. And then next week, we'll try and get some more regular timings for the live streams. Let me know in the comments below what time you like to see the live streams, because it's important that we fit it into all of your schedules as well, because there's some regulars in the chat here that come every day and we really appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and we will be back here tomorrow. So I will see you then. Goodbye.